So I mean,
1991.
banging was going on early in Memphis too.
But I'm not gonna lie, at that time, I didn't know no other Crips though. Just the one that came from California and my family members that he put on the set, and then came to me.
So what was predominantly field in Memphis then? Like what were the gangs popular at that time in the 90s?
I'm not gonna lie, it was crazy because I remember at a time when it just really wasn't no gangs, and
No, like GD, Vice Lord, nothing.
it was just hood gangs. And I was young, and I remember me and Squeaky and the Project Players, Tom Ski, we went on tour. We went on tour for like 6, 7, 8 months.
Damn.
And when I came home, it's like everybody was GD in Orange Mound.
Man, before you even get any more into the music, you said that y'all was living a certain lifestyle before that. So you mentioned that you went to boot camp. But I just want to go back a little bit before that. So like, what was your household like, bruh, before you even jumped off the porch and got into the music and all of that?
That's a good question. So my name is Seal because my dad's name is Seal. I'm named after my dad. So my dad was a hustler. But at that time, you know, they had the Superfly era and the Mac Goldie area. So back then, guys was wearing fur coats. They wasn't too much staying around with their kids. It was all about pimping then. So I grew up in a single household with my mom. I got 2 twin sisters that was older than me. So we growed up in Orange Mound, strictly where we come from. So it was rough. My mom used to work a lot because she was a single parent. So a lot of stuff that we did, we had to take care of the house. And you know, so growing up in Orange Mound without a big brother or nothing like that, just sisters. So I took a lot of bumps and bruises, especially when I was younger. You know, when you young, when you lose a fight, you cry. But when they keep beating you up, after a while you get tired of crying and you get angry. So I just had to learn because that's the environment I grew up in. But at the same time, I still learned later on as I grew to do better though. Because I thought it was normal at first. But once I got to the age of like 20, 21, 22, 23, I started seeing that wasn't the way I supposed to be living.
What way are you talking about?
Well, you know, street life. It was a lot going on there. You know, street life, when you say street life, that's everything involved. That's, you know, the money, the guns, that's just trying to survive, stay alive. But at that age, even though I was young, but I used to always ask myself though, right now, because a lot of my friends was dying. By the time I hit 25, I had lost a lot of them. And dying was a normal thing. So when I was younger, I didn't expect to live 25. I thought that I was supposed to check out at 20, 21. So when I went past that, I was like, wow. But now that I'm older, I understand how I made it past that because when I was living that life, I still used to always ask myself in my mind, so do you think that we can live 10 or 15 years from now living like this? So I think by me being younger, knowing that that's not the way I'm supposed to live, as I grew older, it really taught me how to, you know, just try to stray away from it, try to stay alive.
For sure, for sure. You said so. You didn't think you were gonna live past 25 when you were younger, and by 21 you had lost so many friends. Is this all like to gun violence, or was it other stuff as well? What was going on? Was this gang related? What was it? What was it? Hustling, street? I mean, what was the deal? Why were you losing so many friends at that time?
Well, back then, you know, we didn't. Back then, when I was young like that, we had our own gangs that we would make up. The gangs would be in the neighborhood, but I lost all my friends to gun violence, stealing cars, running from the police, having accidents, just a lot of different stuff. But it was never natural. So I thought that was the way of life. I thought that's the way it is. We supposed to grow up, live fast, and check out like that.
But before you turned 25, did you have a lot of like near death or nearly fatal encounters? Anything come to mind?
Of course I did. I had so many encounters. Riding stolen cars, having wrecks in the cars, riding with friends, getting into it, having shootouts in the neighborhood, and now as they say, the ops come back and catch us, not ready, lacking as they say, but you know, it was just, at that time, it was God. And me, I've been in a lot of shootouts. I did a lot of things to people that I'm not proud of. But, you know, at the same time, as time grew go on, I wanted to do better though.
For sure. For sure. For sure, man. So you said you lost a lot of friends. You were in a few nearly fatal situations, but you always knew in your mind and your heart that wasn't the right route to take for you.
And you know, the crazy part about it, when I first started gang banging, cripping, I used to stay fights and shootouts all the time with everybody. At that time, I was young. If you wasn't a neighborhood Crip, I would be into it with you. And after so long, a lot of my friends would be like, why you be acting like that? I mean, you doing too much. So after so long, I listened and I would try to stop. But I was doing it for so long till I couldn't stop. I actually had to just do a lot of praying and just ask God to please change me. I wanted to become the opposite person that I was. Being what I am, Crip is always in my heart. But at the end of the day, we all black. We all black folks. So, you know, that's why I tell a lot of them. I know we got organizations, we got gangs. And I asked them, what do an organization and gang have in common? Of course, I lose them there because they all say there was a man before anything, but that's not true. Because when you was born, you wasn't a man. But I think what brings it all together is we are all black folks. We all African Americans. So we have to understand that first. Don't go out fighting each other, talking about this or ops. That man is not your ops. That man, his father look like your father. We all the same color. Some of us lighter than others, but we still the same. And I just be wanting to keep us there because as black people, as a race, we always go through murders and brutality with the police. But if you look at it, we hurt each other more than they do. And I hate that.
No, that's real, man. That's some real game you just dropped, man. You also surprised me by saying that like Crippin' in particular, man, like as much as you are comfortable with sharing, because I had an opportunity to chop it up with a handful of people who were in gangs, who are in gangs, or people who thought about joining the gang, but they had some guidance and took a different route. But like you in particular, like around what age did you become Crip?
Well, when I first came Crip, I think I was like 16, something like that. It could have been earlier, but at the time, I didn't like other males around me like that. So I couldn't hang with a pack. I hated that. Whatever I did it by myself. But, you know, I got some family members that was tied in. And, you know, some people came from California to here and got in the mix of my family. And it just all went from there.
Was this in the 80s, the 90s? What was this?
This was like 90.
So, I mean,
90.
banging was going on early in Memphis, too.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to lie, at that time, I didn't know no other Crips, though. Just the one that came from California and my family members that he put on the set and then came to me.
So what was predominantly field in Memphis then? Like, what were the gangs popular at that time in the 90s?
I'm not going to lie. It was crazy. Because I remember at a time when it just really wasn't no gangs. And
no, like GD, Vice Lord, nothing?
It was just hood gangs. And I was young, and I remember me and Squeaky and the Project Players, Tom Ski, we went on tour. We went on tour for like 6, 7, 8 months.
Damn.
And when I came home, it's like everybody was GD in Orange Mound. So I was like, it was cool. I always had to respect because I was always who I was and did what I did without that. So I didn't have no problems, but it was just, I was just like, it was like I went out of town, came back, and everything was different.
Was that after Colors came out?
Well, Colors had came out way before that.
But
Colors
that was Blood and
came
Crip
out-
though. Yeah, that was.
We
like,
was in elementary
Yeah,
when Colors came out. So yeah, it was after Colors. But you know, like, you know, gangsters, you know, they not from California no way. So that was a whole different.
Chicago. Yeah. So you said the whole Orange Mound was GD.
It seemed like it. And then it was like that. And then it was like I went to sleep and woke up and the rest was Crips. It was just Crips and GDs at first for a while. And then once I got older, started doing other stuff, then that's when the Vice Lords and Bloods came really.
Did the GDs and Crips get along back then?
Well, back then, yeah, because it wasn't a lot going on, but I ain't gonna lie. From what I seen, there was always a movement to split that A-ball up. I don't know. It was just a lot going on with it. Some stuff can't be talked about, but you know.
For sure.